College education has long been accepted as a path to career opportunity and success, but many students and their parents don't see a college degree in their futures. What can be done to increase the number of college graduates in our region? One step is to start early, and a successful model for introducing college access to elementary schools is mentoring. I'm Chuck Cantrell, and this is Metro Campus, the UTC Report. Today we're going to explore what UTC is doing to extend the dream of a college education to everyone and how that benefits our entire community. So come back for Metro Campus, the UTC Report. Hello, welcome back to Metro Campus, the UTC Report. I'm Chuck Cantrell. As a community-engaged campus, the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga sponsors a number of programs to bring the opportunities of higher education to a variety of students. For more than 30 years, one of those programs has been the Center for Community Career Education. From displaced homemakers who are entering the workforce for the first time to elementary school students who are just thinking about what it takes to make it in today's marketplace, the center has offered a wide range of programs. My guest today is very familiar with the center and one of its successful programs aimed at elementary school students. Jonathan Brocco started as a leader in the Post-Secondary Awareness with Success program, or PAWS as it is better known, which works to increase its academic success level of elementary school students and to expose these students to the opportunities of higher education. He's helped expand that program into a new opportunity, and he's here to talk about that today. Jonathan, welcome to Metro Campus. Thank you very much for coming. So let's go back a little bit. Yeah. Let's talk about PAWS, because where did the idea of starting with elementary school students, talking to them about college come from? Because generally you think about, even from the college recruitment perspective, we generally start in the, to go back to junior high or middle school is even considered getting an early start. Right. But you guys thought that it needed to start even earlier. Where did that idea come from?
So it actually started before I was even at UTC. Back in 2007, Sandy Cole's niece, the director of the program, her niece came over for a holiday visit and said she was interested in studying something with animals and birds when she went off to college. And she thought, wow, an elementary school student talking about college. So after Sandy talked with her more about it and decided she wanted to get college awareness happening in the center, she started a program that was aimed at 6th and 7th graders. Then the chief of police said, I highly suggest 4th and 5th graders, as a lot of 6th and 7th graders are getting into trouble already. So if we get them excited about college earlier on, there's a chance that maybe we'll get them aimed towards doing something more productive in their futures. So that's kind of where the idea of it all started.
So what exactly, I know, and you've worked with PAWS, and it's still going, yes, so PAWS isn't leaving.
Exactly.
So tell me what a student experiences by participating in PAWS.
It's the most rewarding thing you can possibly do, to see a kid come in struggling with their grades, with their behavior, and then to leave and be, decided on a major, and as a 10-year-old, and to have good grades and to be doing well in school and behaving well for their teachers. It's the most rewarding thing you can do.
So tell us a little bit about the experience though. What do y'all do? The hands-on sort of day-to-day stuff.
Yeah, so PAWS, we meet Mondays and Thursdays from about 3 to 5 with students from Brown Academy. During that time, we'll do homework help, general life guidance, but the cool part of it is we do post-secondary awareness lessons with the 4th and 5th graders. So they come in, we do stuff like Moc College fairs. We do reality check, a kid-friendly version of that, and we take them on campus for college experience, for tours of the campus, for going to see the athletes, going to the ARC, going to the new library, all those fun things. So there's a wide array of post-secondary awareness activities that we do with the kids. And it's just so cool to see them come on campus and light up, almost like it's a whole different world to them. It's really neat.
It is interesting to me because Brown Academy essentially is on the UTC campus.
Right, it is.
Do those students at Brown see them as existing on a UTC campus?
I mean, it's interesting because when the kids if they're in their classroom looking out the window at UTC, they don't know what it means. They don't know what it is. And so establishing that partnership with them has opened that door. And we have kindergartners already wanting to be in PAWS, and they're only 5, so it's cool. But no, that partnership has helped those kids see what UTC is and see that college is a reality for them if they make the right choices after they leave PAWS and headed to middle and high school.
So you talked a little bit about sort of the experience of what the students get. How did you yourself get into PAWS?
When I came to UTC in 2009 as a freshman, I was looking for a niche, a Chattanooga niche for me. It was new. I was from Nashville, so I had no experience in town. I got an email through the Scrappy's listserv, sent by you actually, and it said that PAWS was looking for mentors. I thought, you know, maybe this would be fun for me to do. I was an education major anyway, so it'd be good to gain the experience working with kids early on. Got involved and had an incredible year and saw a complete transformation in my mentee from September all the way through the next May, and it was just the best. And that solidified my plans for me. I knew I was going to be in education. I knew that was what I wanted to do, and you know, PAWS just made it all happen for me.
So is it a one-on-one relationship? I mean, do you have more than one mentee, or?
Generally, it is one-on-one. Every now and then we have to do a two-on-one. Just if sometimes we have a lot of mentors want to get involved, and we're not going to tell them they can't volunteer. You know, so some kids luck out and get two mentors, but we try to focus one-on-one so that the student has a consistent role model in their lives.
Okay, and so you went on, and your actual undergraduate degree is in?
A secondary history for education.
Education, and then you got your master's degree.
I'm working on that now.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
and so that's what's keeping you around.
Yeah, yes.
At UTC and in the program. So we're going to take a break here in just a minute, but when we come back, I want to talk about the new program and how it's a little bit different from PAWS, and how you're hoping to maybe expand that into more schools. So when we come back, we'll continue our conversation about the CK Now program. Welcome back to Metro Campus. I'm Chuck Cantrell. We're discussing CK Now, a new elementary school program operated by the Center for Community Career Education at UTC. My guest is Jonathan Brocco. Okay, Jonathan, so we've talked a little bit about PAWS and the idea of getting higher education awareness into the early grades.
Right.
And that was PAWS, and it's still there. But you've grown that into a new program, and I've already mentioned the name of it, CK Now.
Correct.
Tell us a little bit about what CK Now means. First, where did the name come from? What is that name?
Absolutely. CK Now is College Knowledge Now, and it started because we've been trying to expand PAWS because we're in our eighth year of the program now. Several elementary schools have expressed interest in having PAWS at their school, but we don't have the resources to do that yet. So Sandy and I said we need to kind of take just a reapproach at this and stop writing grants for to bring PAWS to other schools because we're not ready for that. Let's look at it in a different way. So we signed up for a co-starters class with the company lab in Causeway here in town, and for 7 weeks this past summer we went through every element of business you could possibly imagine and came up with CK Now. What that program is going to do is host groups of 4th and 5th grade students on UTC's campus for a Moc College day. And they're going to get to go around and interact with UTC athletics, housing. We're going to do post-secondary awareness lessons with them that we do with the PAWS kids. So it's a way to go from working with 50 kids per year to bringing 1,000 kids on campus every year.
Wow, and that would be in the Hamilton County local schools?
Correct, and Southeast Tennessee in general. We're going to hopefully expand our reach that far.
You mentioned something that I wanted to go back and touch on in the first segment. You mentioned that I think the police chief said that you should start earlier.
Yes.
And so when we think about college education and college prep, we sort of think about all this academic stuff.
Right.
But I know that PAWS and now CK Now also has a goal of helping students stay out of trouble and just stay on the right path. Tell us a little bit about how successful that's been, because I know the numbers are really good.
Yes, they are. Over the first 5 years, we had 98% of students avoid any juvenile delinquent behavior, which was a great stat. Since then, we've had no reports. So I would say in the past 8 years, we've had one issue, and it was honestly, it was a kid being a kid thing when he was in middle school. So it wasn't a major issue, but having the mentors there for the students at PAWS helps them develop those skills that they need to respond appropriately to certain situations. And not only that, but we're hoping CK Now, when kids come on campus, they're going to see what they can do if they make the right choices in life and what awaits them. Because college is a reality. With the Tennessee Promise coming out and the Drive to 55 movement happening, it's a big push here in the entire state. So, we really have high hopes that the kids are going to come on and set themselves on a great track through CK Now, and to continue to do that with Pause too.
And so CK Now would be a one-day experience.
Right.
Is there a way for the schools to sort of keep that going at their site, their level? Mm-hmm. I know you can't send mentors out to every school.
Right. Well, there is a way. We can come in. We also have the option of coming to their classrooms and doing lessons with them. But the curriculum is really where we can expand our outreach to go on past if they come to CK Now. We have a full curriculum that deals with all kinds of post-secondary awareness elements, all the way from what financial aid is to picking a school based on your interests. So the guidance counselors that bring the kids on campus can actually purchase that curriculum. They'll get sample activities of it while they're on campus, but we're going to make that available once we have our licensing all set up so that they can bring that and actually do that in their schools and in the classrooms with the kids.
Now I know, and probably just because I've worked with Sandy a little bit in the development of this too, this is, I mean, it sounds like a really simple idea, mm-hmm. but it's really kind of revolutionary. It's mm-hmm. not being done anywhere else really. Mm-hmm. And so you guys have a vision of taking what started as one small grant program mm-hmm. and maybe seeing it spread across the whole country at some point.
That would be amazing.
So how do you see CK Now sort of going from starting at UTC and starting in Chattanooga? What did you learn through your collab experience where you can see this going bigger?
It really comes down to having the data that provides stakeholders the information they need to see that it's a worthwhile opportunity. And the fact of the matter is 50 kids a year is amazing because it's quality intense 1-year programming, well 2-year, 4th and 5th grade, but having CK Now is going to get our numbers up into the thousands and give thousands of kids the chance to understand what college is and how to get there. So I think once we have a couple years of momentum running with the program, I believe that everything we're taught business-wise from the company lab is going to help us figure out ways to set this up in other campuses. I don't know how it'll turn out. We're not sure if it'll be at other schools or if they're going to come to us for consulting, but we definitely hope that something like that, comes to fruition in the future.
So how old would a 4th grader be? That would be about 10?
10, yeah, 9 to 10.
And so, I'm thinking about when I was a 4th grader, when I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
If you'd asked me what I had, wanted to be when I grew up and what my career aspirations were, frankly, if you asked me my career aspiration, I probably wouldn't even know what you were talking about.
Right.
But if you asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up, I would probably go along the lines of maybe astronaut or mm-hmm. fireman or policeman. I mean, yes. There's a cowboy. There's a certain little sort of small standard. I know the world is far different now. Mm-hmm. So when you talk to the young people, what do they say? What are their ideas about what they want to do?
Well, generally, every boy is either an NFL or NBA player always, and a lot of the girls want to be entertainers, dancers, stuff like that. But surprisingly, we have some kids already interested in law and being doctors. 3 or 4 of them already said they want to be teachers. So there are a few that are reality-based and a few that are dream-based. But the thing that we tell the kids consistently is, look, those dreams are awesome to have and they might come true. But college is a reality. That's still a dream. College is real. It's awaiting you if you make the right choices. So they have all kinds of ideas, and really it's about them finding 1 or 2 careers that interest them, and we provide the information that they need to continue to research that as they go through elementary, middle, and high school. And to tell you a really cool story really quick, we had a reunion last summer, and one of our former students came back, said she wanted to be a neonatologist. And we were surprised. I said, how'd you know that? How'd you know to research and specialize in a field? She said, because of the activity I did in Pause when I was in the 5th grade. She knew how to narrow it all the way down to neonatology. Yeah. And then she knows that she's going to major in biology when she goes off to school in 2 years.
That's great.
It's really cool, yeah.
I tell you what, we're going to have to take a break. Sure. When we come back, we'll continue our conversation about the Center for Community Career Education at UTC and the CK Now program. Hello, welcome back to Metro Campus. I'm Chuck Cantrell. Jonathan, we were talking earlier about what the students actually do in Pause and what they will do in the CK Now program and all the mentoring and the relationship building, but also recognize that there's a parental involvement and parent interaction between the Pause leaders Tell me a little bit about how that works with Pause and if that's going to be an element of CK Now.
Right, not so much with CK Now because we only see them for one day, but definitely has been a key component in Pause. So early on in the semester, when kids are being picked up from Pause, we usually will bring out their new mentors to meet their parents and say, this is Mr. So-and-so, he'll be working with your kid for the next 6 months, and he's great at this, and I know your students working on their math skills, so he'll help them in math, and those types. So we just kind of align their needs, mentor-mentee needs, based on what the student's struggling in. So the parents have actually get to know the mentor early on in the semester, and then they stay in touch with them just as dismissal kind of happens. They'll come in sometimes and say hello, but the coolest thing has been in the generation Pause families, where we have 5, 6 kids coming through over the course of the last 7 years, and we have a few of those families. So we've seen the parents say, come in and say, Art, he's in 10th grade now, and he's already talking about studying engineering. That happens regularly. And so there's a lot of legacies within Pause, and the parents have a chance to see their kids pick careers and majors based on their interest, and they come home and tell them about it. And then one really cool thing is a lot of times the parents will start doing activities at home with their kids. We have a great little girl in their program who goes home and tells them about all the stuff they've learned from their mentor, and the parents will actually, like if she comes home and says she wants to go for cosmetology, they'll let her play hairstylist for the day, that kind of stuff. So it's really cool to see how the parents like to get involved with the program.
It's interesting because, usually when you're looking at these programs and you're looking for results and sort of outcomes, you don't have to wait quite so long. Mm-hmm. But when you started in the 4th grade and the goal is to see whether or not this person graduates from college, right, you guys don't even have anyone in college yet.
Right.
And so how do you know that you're being successful and that you're making a difference?
Well, first and foremost, it's just seeing a kid go from struggling with behavior and grades to completely transforming the student and person that they are based on working with their mentor. That's the biggest part of it. I would say the second biggest part is we're starting longitudinal research with our students, and we've heard a lot of great things through the reunions that we have every summer. We actually go to the Ark, everyone comes to the pool and swims, and we catch up with all the kids that have been in the program. That's a lot of fun. But we're actually going to start an interview and survey process with our students that are juniors and seniors in high school, and continue that each year to see what their plans are. So we'll have some substantial data pretty soon.
I would think that if, as at least a 4th and 5th grader, showing them in a dorm room is fine, showing them classrooms is cool, but taking them to the Ark and letting them see the pool, like wow, this is what college is.
Exactly.
It's swimming in a pool.
Yeah.
It worked for me, going down the big slide. So where do you think your students are going to end up in 10 years? What are your goals and aspirations for them?
Really, they don't have to get a master's degree. They don't have to get a PhD. I just want them to pick something that's going to provide for themselves and if their families, if they have them. It comes down to getting an education in something, whether it's a technical certification, an associate's degree, a bachelor's degree. Do something that makes them happy first and foremost. But I also constantly love to talk to the kids about every job serves the community in some way. So realize what you're doing and what you're choosing isn't just for you. It's to keep making our world and our country, our small communities, just better places. So it's just such a rewarding thing to be a part of, Chuck, and it's really cool.
I tell you what, we're almost out of time, but I want to, if someone's out there and they're interested in bringing the CK Now to their school, and they want to get that experience for their students, what do they do? How do they contact you?
Yeah, so contact the Center for Community Career Education. It's 423-425-4557, or visit our website, utc.edu/Center for Community Career Education. And we're going to have a website for CK Now up and running here in the next couple of weeks, so they'll actually be able to see a specific CK Now tab pretty soon.
And I do know if they call that number, they get you. You answer the phone.
Yes, that's right. I do.
If you'd like more information on CK Now and the Center for Career Education, or any topic we discuss here on Metro Campus, you can always find it by visiting the UTC website at www.utc.edu. That's all the time we have for this installment. Thanks for watching. See you next time.